you get the call up, the last time not, obviously there was reasons that supposedly were explained, but this time getting that and going to be a part of that game, what's your kind of mindset going, or not going into being that?
Yeah, number one, we need a win, right? It's a big game against, although it's a friendly, it's a big game, right? You wanna beat Mexico anytime you get that chance. And then obviously thrilled, excited, and honored to represent the United States again. You can never take those call-ups for granted because you never know when your last call-up will be. And for me, it's making the most of it, right? Trying to do my part, whether it's playing and competing against Mexico or coming off the bench and competing against Mexico.
You, with Jordan's participation, especially the fact that he's going in there as the Golden Boot leader, do you expect him to see any more of the field, or how do you think that might play out for him on the U.S. level?
Well, I think Anthony Hudson wants to put out a squad that wins, right? So whoever that is, if it's Jordan involved with being the leading goal scorer, I think it should be because of how well he's played. I mean, he's playing really, really well. But look, those are decisions that Anthony has to make, and I'm sure Jordan will feature at some point. But the fact that we have another big game against Mexico is always exciting.
This really is kind of like a big rivalry week for you. 2 games in a row that are rivalries. Let's touch on the USA-Mexico rivalry first, and your thoughts on how that's evolved here in the last few years.
Yeah, I think with qualifying and then how we did at the World Cup, right? It's definitely going in our favor. With the past couple Gold Cups and Nations Leagues, hopefully, I think we have another game scheduled, right, in Nations League against Mexico. So we have a huge rivalry brewing in the year 2023, and with Leagues Cup and Champions League, we're constantly competing against Liga MX teams. And so we're getting real familiar, and that's what's great about this rivalry, right? We're seeing it in all different facets of our game right now.
And then you have Seattle-Portland. What does the rivalry mean to you personally between our two cities?
Well, I think it's, if you had to describe it in one word, is hatred, right? I mean, between the fans, us, the history that we have, right? You want to be able to go into Portland and win, right? There's nothing better than winning on the road against Portland. So hopefully we have that opportunity. But look, this is a team that has those same ambitions towards us, and it's gonna be a battle.
So really quick, you used the word hatred. Why do you hate Portland?
For all the same reasons our fans hate Portland. I mean, I think the feeling is mutual, and that's what makes our rivalry so great.
You and Jordan are both going into the U.S. squad as 2 of the most senior players. How is that kind of changing your role as you go? How are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I think it's important to help the young guys, right? I mean, I was there once, and although my role probably wasn't the biggest with the national team, I was able to be called into a lot of camps, and so understanding your role, right? Understanding where you can affect the game, right? Even if you're not on the field, how can you help those guys reach the next level? Because you're not going to be there forever, right? So understanding where you're at, being one of the most experienced guys there, and then helping the group as much as possible.
Your dad offered you, what was it, $5 for headers? Is that?
Yeah, my grandpa.
Your grandfather. Okay, and so what's it like? I just wanted to ask as far as Jordan this season, headers were. He said that that's the thing that he's been trying to work on.
Yeah.
He's had a few this year. What's it like from your perspective as somebody who knows his game very well to see him succeed at that or do that?
Yeah, I think it's an evolution of Jordan's game, right? I think because he's playing striker, right, he gets a little bit more opportunities off crosses, right, from Leo Chu or myself or Alex or Nico. Just being in the box a lot more. So him and his ability to make the most of his chances, right, the few chances that he gets, that's what a goal scorer is. So we're seeing Jordan play at a really high level, and he can continue in this way, but him being able to play two positions is really important for us.
And for him, and with Heber and Raul, and Leo, it just seems like there's a lot of variety up top that's working this season. Do you feel that it's much different than past seasons, or what's your perspective of what's going on in the attack this year?
Yeah, I think we're making the most of our attack. I think that's been the difference. We're scoring the chances that we're getting, and last year I felt that we had chances and we just didn't score them. But we're adding some defensive, real good defensive values to our game, right? We haven't conceded at home, and I think we've only conceded 3 goals. So you combine those two, and that's a recipe for success.
Going back to Portland,
Last goal for Cristian, guys.
in your view, what's probably the most challenging aspects of playing down at Providence Park?
Well, I think the most challenging is when you think you have full control of the game flips because of how they play, and they're counterattacking and tracking guys. So that's something that we're going to have to be really aware of. Understanding that when we have the ball, we have to be fully engaged defensively. So for us, it's a team that's desperate, that might have 10 guys, 11 guys behind the ball, and they'll be more than ready to spring the attack when they win it.
In rivalry games, just how important. I'm sorry. In rivalry games, just how important is it? Because it's going to be heat and everything else. Just to kind of keep, stay level, calm, and yet stick to the game plan.
Yeah, the minute that you bring emotion to it, could be either good or bad, right? And sometimes in those games, you have to, take a deep breath and slow the game down, right? Or keep possession of the ball a little bit more, or don't get engaged in a fight, right? Those are things that I think we can control. And look, we're the team that's in control right now, right? We're doing really well. We're scoring goals. We're not conceding many. They're a team that's a little bit desperate for points, right? A team that hasn't felt that they've gotten the results that they deserve, and that they haven't scored. So understanding that they might feel a little bit more emotional than us, and we have to use that to our advantage.
Have your center backs become more proficient in passing the ball from the back in the years that you've seen them, and even the back line?
Yeah, I think the game in general, right? We're seeing center backs be way more comfortable, goalies way more comfortable on the ball, and to credit Yamar, he's worked his butt off on being composed on the ball and finding passes, breaking lines. Jackson's been a little bit more natural in that with his skill set, but we're seeing those two have a really good chemistry, and Jackson being a little bit more vocal as well. But with the way we want to play, Nuhu, Yamar, Jackson, they have to be comfortable on the ball. They have to break lines, and we're seeing that this year.